mentioned role of missionaries in colonization.
Yeah, missionaries. You read my books, it's full of all this discussion on missionaries. I mean, I didn't go through every one of those. In fact, in this book, Breaking India, I called the left-wing interventions and the right-wing interventions. And the missionaries are part of the right-wing interventions. The left-wing interventions are the leftists, as he said, the Maoists and all these human rights groups and so on. Missionaries are a very important part of the Breaking India. In fact, Obama, when he came and scolded India for no religious freedom and whatnot, complete nonsense. The point is, Obama is not a scholar himself. He doesn't know these things. He was briefed by an organization called the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. It's a government of U.S. body put up by the Congress. Not a single member of that is a Hindu, Buddhist, or Jain or Sikh. They are all Judeo-Christian people. Their job is to wag a finger at what somebody other countries are doing wrong. United States is not within the scope of their study. So they do a report on everybody else, and they classify the countries into worst one, second tier, third tier, like that. And India is in the second worst. It is just one level better than Saudi Arabia and North Korea. It's in the same level of lack of religious freedom, same category as Pakistan, India. So you can see how much nonsense there is. So in this book, and I'm the only person who's done it, and all the time I've been for years saying, why aren't the Indian government doing it? Why aren't Indian scholars? Why isn't there somebody in a PhD doing this or whatever? But I could not get many people interested. I have done every year's report since 2001. Every year's report I've analyzed on the India section and what is wrong with it. Yeah. And people like John Dayal gone and given, and some other people have gone and given testimony, and I'm quite concerned about that. And I pointed it out. I had a debate with John Dayal a few weeks ago, and I asked him in front of the debate. After he was done talking, I was done talking. Then I asked the audience, what should be our posture towards Indians who go overseas and give testimony against India on grounds of human rights in foreign countries and ask for sanctions. I didn't even mention him, but of course I was thinking of him. And he quickly got the mic and said, they are traitors who should be punished. So I'm waiting for, I think Abhishek has the video. Yeah, you got it, no? So we are going to put that video up on the YouTube. And then we'll ask him that John Dayalji, were you referring to yourself? Because the testimony he gave, the Americans are very clever. I mean, they got people's names, they got them videotaped, it's public record. It says our great so-and-so human rights activists, they praise these guys, they fly them over with first-class tickets and all. I mean, he came and he gave this testimony. It's all on the record. He can't deny. And it's not just 1 year, it's year after year. So you see, I'm not somebody who wants to be vindictive and all that. I just would like him to reverse his stand. That's all I would like to do. I would like him to say, okay, I no longer do that. Maybe I did it at one point in time. I'm wiser. We all make mistakes. That's what I want. Is that going forward, that will make us all a better society. That we know how to solve problems. Even this morning, when they were talking about we have all these problems here, there, the people in the NDTV show, my position was, don't we have a legal framework? Why aren't you filing cases here? We have. Then they would say, oh, so and so people don't have rights. Well, of course they have rights. They have a right in democracy to elect the right people. We can amend the legal system. It's better than going to another country and asking for help from them. So the mischief being done by the missionaries is a very important part. The U.S. Commission on Religious Freedom has been dominated by World Vision, Lutheran Church, Mormon Church, Dalit Freedom Network. I would say 5 or 6 of the institutions are the prominent ones that constantly supply, because they have lobbying power, they constantly supply the commissioners and the main members of that board. And then these people, basically their job, they have all got a lot of staff and funding. Their job is to keep developing what I call atrocity literature. The term atrocity literature, which is explained here, is a term from American history. Atrocity literature, they've described very well, American historians have, that when America wanted to invade somebody, Mexico was invaded, and that's where California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, the major states, about 30% or 25% of US territory, was invaded from Mexico. for no reason. There was no war, provocation. It was just like they're bad people, they have bad human rights, they're abusing their women, and they're not looking out for their children. This kind of atrocity literature would drum up support in the Congress and Senate that we can invade them. Similarly, when it was time to invade Philippines, another country far away across the ocean hadn't provoked atrocity literature. Vietnam, South Korea, recently Iraq. Whole atrocity literature on Saddam Hussein is basically doing this, that. But of course, no atrocity literature has come out on Saudi Arabia because they are supplying us oil. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't atrocity literature. There is a data bank of atrocity literature is huge. But once it's decided, button is pushed, then you will see CNN and everybody just day and night pumping out these documentaries. So I could see from the day a particular senator, who is very important, made the statement that we should target Iraq. While the 9/11 happened from Afghanistan and Pakistan, but he took the stand that we should target Iraq, you could see within 24 hours the amount of documentaries and newspaper reports of atrocities coming out is like huge amount. Obviously they didn't go and get that immediately. They had been building it up all along. So today the data bank on Pakistan is huge, on India is huge, on Nepal is huge. Most countries that they may need leverage to pressure them, they've got a huge database of atrocity literature. So this is something that our NGOs ought to know, and our activists and intellectuals, some of them are doing it willingly and knowingly. Some of them are probably don't want to know. Their policy probably is that, look, don't tell me this, don't want to know. I want to sleep at night, I'll pretend I'm not part of this, but I'm just doing my job. Yeah? And then there may be people that are too junior in their whole machinery, that they really aren't playing a decisive role, but they're just providing some support. And without them, it won't happen, but they're providing some support. So that's my view on the role of missionaries in the Breaking India.